Welcome back to Starkiller Base. Today we have the featured match from round 1 of our 401 Games May 2017 Spring Kit. On the left we have Greg playing Palpatine, and on the right we have myself, John Gobet, playing eMaz. Greg brought Oto Gunga to the match, and I brought the Emperor's Throne Room. We did a roll-off off-camera apparently, and I won, and I'm choosing the Emperor's Throne Room to be the active battlefield. So Greg puts 2 shields on Palpatine, and I start off with a fast hands on Poe. So Greg puts out a Force Illusion on Palpatine. We've done a lot of playtesting with these 2 decks against one another, and Force Illusion is fantastic against eMaz. So Poe rolls in and completely wastes his fast hands with a couple of blanks. So we played, I think it was 8 matches the night before, and I won all of them. There was a couple close ones, but Palpatine is definitely a nasty matchup for eMaz. So Greg rolls in and gets the nuts. He gets 3 ranged and 3 ranged. Unfortunately, I don't look like I have any die control here, so I just roll in Maz, and this is really going to hurt. So Maz gets a 1 resource and a 1 ranged, and I resolve both of those, because why not? So Greg starts off by doing 10 damage to me out of my 20 hit points in the first round. That's a pretty good start for his deck, definitely. That hurt a lot. And with that Force Illusion out there, throwing something at him is not all that interesting. So I pay 1 for C3PO. 3PO I find is a little bit of a trap in the deck. I mean, if you've got the Emperor's Throne Room as your active battlefield, you don't really want to take the time to roll him out and use him, because you want to have that battlefield so you can use your defensive positions and that sort of stuff. So Greg plays out a second Force Illusion, and I claim and throw a Thermal Detonator at him. Now with a eMaz deck, the most damage you're doing likely is about 4 with a Poe special, so you can, you know, if you're going to take 3, you can just take it and not Force Illusion it if you want to. But Force Illusions are just really, really nasty against the eMaz deck. I mean, those 2 cards can effectively negate an entire round of me throwing stuff at him, which is huge. Like 8 damage kind of thing. I'm hoping that I can hit his Force Illusions and make him go through Rise Agains and Premonition so he doesn't have those heals, or get rid of some other key cards, some die control, something like that. But we'll see what happens here. Definitely not how you want to start your match. That's for sure. So I start off with a rocket launcher on Poe.
Oh, so I can roll in?
And Greg rolls in Palpatine. He gets a 2 shield and a 2 ranged. So I electroshock the 2 ranged, so it's nice. I've got some die control this round. Of course, in spending my last resource, I now can't afford to pay for the side on the rocket launcher, which is unfortunate. Greg plays Now You Will Die. In case you're a little confused, the cardboard resources at the top of the screen are Greg's, which are for some reason mostly on my side of the board. So he resolves that 2 shield as 2 melee, hits Poe for 2, and then I put 2 into Maz. So Poe rolls in, he gets a resource, and a blank. So this is a brutal first 2 turns for my eMaz deck here. This is kind of ridiculous.
Sure. I have 4 hit points left.
And there's not much point in fast handsing anything. I guess you could fast hands the resource, use it to pay for a rocket launcher, but it's not looking so good right now. So maybe I've got a resource now for some die control or something like that. Greg claims. So I've got free reign here, but you can see the power of the Force Illusion, right? In this meta where you can action cheat all the time, it's really great to be able to just claim the battlefield or do nothing and actually have a reaction. So I roll in Maz, I get a blank and a focus. I focus the rocket launcher to a 4 for 1 and then resolve it into Greg. And instead of using his Force Illusions, he goes up to 6 damage. I roll in 3PO here, and he just wants to wait a second. He's just asking if he can use a Force Illusion. I'm a little frustrated at this point, so I tell him he could just use it next time, which he can. I mean, there's no secrets here. It's not like I've got unblockable damage that's going to go through those. So 3PO rolls in a discard. I discard a thermal, reroll the Poe and Maz dice. I get a Poe special and a Maz 1 range damage. 1 focus apparently. So I resolve the special and throw 4 damage in from the Falcon. We can't see what Gray's discarding, unfortunately, but it was a 4 speed and a doubt in there. So then I use 3 PO's action to resolve the Maz 1 focus as 1 range. And I pass. So I'm sort of clawing my way through here. I got Palpatine about half dead. I'm more than half dead, unfortunately, but you never know what might happen. It's a shame that Greg's got the battlefield again, because I need the battlefield for dug in and defensive position. My deck only has 2 defensive positions and 1 dug in, because I don't want to rely too heavily on the battlefield, but it's definitely useful. And there's other cards like Negotiate in there as well. So Palpatine rolls in, gets 2 shields and a 3 ranged. I play hit and run. I roll in Poe, and I get a 2 ranged, a 4 ranged for 1, and a Poe special. So I can fast hands one of them. And I do so. Unfortunately, Greg's damage there is going to leave me with 1 hit point left with just the range damage dice. So I'm thinking about switching things up a little bit here. I'd like to just throw that all at him. And if I could kill him with it, if he didn't have that Force Illusion, he'd actually be dead. But I'm going to Ewing myself here because I need the extra hit points. That's fast hands, and so because I played hit and run, I have an extra action here.
Is that it's not my action?
And I could put 6 into Palpatine, but with that Force Illusion there, it's not going to help that much. So I switch it up a little bit. I play a Field Medic, so I'm trying to maximize the amount of hit points I have left, because with the damage just showing on Greg's dice there, he can put 7 damage to me, and I have 8 hit points left and a couple of shields in each character.
Well, I was in big trouble the first turn. You had half my health.
So Greg plays High Ground and removes my rocket launcher die, which is sad news, but I'm worried about my life here, not his so much.
If it's a character die, you do it.
Oh, so I do that one, but that's better.
But that's definitely the right call. That 4 for 1 is pretty big. Maz rolls in and gets 2 blanks, and I get a little frustrated because I'm not having much luck with the rolls in this game. Greg resolves the 3 range into Poe, and then I use the other 2 shields on Maz to soak up the 2 damage from Palpatine's ability. I should probably look into getting the battlefield back here, so maybe claim and... Okay, so I put the 2 into Palpatine. I'm not sure I actually had anything to throw at him if I did claim. But Maz's dice aren't going to do much, and neither is 3PO. So Greg gets use the Force and turns Palpatine's die to a 3 ranged. I discard and reroll Maz. I get a focus and a resource, and for some reason I get confused and resolve her dice with her ability, which I can't actually do.
3 to Poe.
1, 2, 3.
Greg puts 3 into Poe, and I split the damage so that Poe has 2 hit points left and Maz has 1, so it's pretty close here. I probably, again, should have claimed at that point instead of playing it out. I don't want Palpatine to come in first before me, and if I've got no die control cards, I'm in big trouble. So Greg claimed. I played out of Maz's goggles, rolled in 3PO, and took a resource.
But I knew that already.
Yeah, that was a...
The first turn was just you.
With that Force Illusion out there and 6 hit points left, and me at 3 hit points left, it's probably over at this point, but it was a really rough start for my deck with 10 damage coming into me that I couldn't do anything about. So I'm pretty happy with how it's played thus far, considering that. But sometimes in Destiny, the dice just don't go your way. So Greg rolls in, gets a 2 discard and a 2 shield, so not what he was looking for, but he could just resolve both those and kill my characters from Palpatine's ability. So we'll see what I do here. So I pay 1 for Field Medic. So I just nullify 1 of his dice, I guess.
That was your turn?
That was my action.
And I'll get put back on by resolving 1 of the dice, I'm sure.
This is the kind of situation where now you will die is really great.
Yeah, if Greg's got now you will die again, I'll be in some pretty serious trouble. So he's resolving the 2 discard. Looks like I've got 4 cards left, I think. There we go. So let's see what he pulls. Planetary Uprising and a rocket launcher. So I'm not sure if I have any dice cards to throw at him yet at this point. That rocket launcher definitely would have helped, especially with the 2 resources showing. So I put the 2 damage into Poe, since Maz has only got 1 hit point left. Roll in Poe. I get a resource, a 3 range for 1, and a 3 range for 1.
Did you do both of them or no? Just one.
So I'm paying 1 to Fast Hands Palpatine.
Let me think. I think I got a second.
So theoretically, I could kill him this turn. Except I can't. I don't think I can do anything about the 2 damage from the
So he's got
Palpatine, 2
2
shields there, unfortunately. If I were to roll in Maz, get the special and the 3, that'd be pretty good. So Greg re-rolls, gets 2 ranged,
Try and kill me
which will kill me. I roll in Maz. I get a 2 focus, a 1 ranged, and a 1 resource.
You get to resolve 2 dice, right? Here it comes. Special.
So the only thing that could save me right now is 2 shields, but there's nothing that I can do about that there. So if I don't have something in my hand to get rid of that Palpatine die, I think it's over here.
To focus them and then exercise one of them.
I mean, with 15 hit points, the 3 range for 1 on Poe's die there, and then a Poe special could kill Palpatine at this point, but it is not looking good for Poe-Maz right now. I was always wondering why the Palpatine deck was said to be so tough for Poe-Maz, and I realized it's because it's one character with a ton of hit points, which means that you're not getting rid of any of the dice. With a Poe-Maz deck against a 3 character list, throwing thermals and U-Wings and stuff like that at them is just brutal. I was able to chew through a Dooku Raider FN 2199 deck pretty quickly. So I resolved the 2 focus to set Poe's die to 2 ranged, and then Maz's die to a shield, and I take a shield. Greg puts the 2 into Poe, and then I've only got 2 hit points left, so I'm dead. So if I had 1 more hit point, I might have been able to pull it off. It was pretty close. So there's the GG. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep an eye out for round 2 coming soon, and stay tuned to Starkiller Base for more Destiny content. See you next time.